Howdy, all. I'm back. So, one comment that I got about my intro video is that I need to add some more context so that people will understand some of what I'm talking about. Oh, sorry if I'm a little shiny. I actually did a little exercise. Felt pretty good today, so wanted to get a little workout in. I want to talk about wrestling today. Um, it's pretty much the main reason why I moved to St. Louis. My friend Mike, who introduced me to the mats and the ring, he lives here. He's a really great wrestler. He's really fun to get on the mats with. Of course, he kicks my butt most of the time, which I don't mind. He's been wrestling a long time. Uh, when I was a little kid, um, probably around the time I was 9 or 10, I discovered pro wrestling on the TV. And it was this magnificent spectacle. Uh, my other pro wrestling fan friends, um, we remember the 80s of pro wrestling. It was the age of big robes, very colorful outfits, uh, the with the big collars on them sometimes. The wrestlers would come out in these magnificent outfits. It almost looked like they were going to the Oscars or something sometimes. Um, but it was all about the spectacle. Pro wrestling is all about the show. It's all about getting people to cheer for the good guys, boo the bad guys. Find a wrestler that they really love and that they can really get behind, and to cheer them on and chant their names in the middle of a match. It's all about telling a story and making sure that you sell the story for the fans. And I absolutely loved it. Um, there was a wrestling show on TV at 3 o'clock, and I would rush home from school so that I could see as much of the wrestling show as possible. I don't remember there being any indie federations in Biloxi, Mississippi when I was growing up. So I never got to see one live. And so when my friend Mike invited me to come to St. Louis back in, I think it was 2018, the first time that I came for a visit, he took me to an indie show, and oh my gosh, all of my euphoria from watching uh, WCW and WWF in the 1980s, it all came rushing back. Um, and so I started to develop this idea in my mind that I wanted to get in that ring. I wanted the fans to be cheering my name, cheering me on. I wanted to hear the roar of the crowd behind me. I wanted to be the good guy. I wanted to be the good guy. Um, I wanted to be the hero. It's the same feeling that I have every time that I go to a superhero movie in the theaters. And those have long been some of my favorites. Um, with the new Marvel movies coming out, I love those almost as much as I love a good wrestling show. It's because I end up feeling like I want to be something more when I watch those movies. And when I see myself in the ring, I see that coming true. That I could be a hero for some kid watching. That he could cheer my name and think of me as his idea of the hero fighting for fairness and fighting for good play and good sportsmanship. And that's what brought me to St. Louis, was this big vision of getting in the ring and being a hero. Wrestling to me is, yeah, it's a spectacle. It's a show. It's it's fiction. There's a fair amount of fiction to it. There's a fair amount of reality to it. Um, Ask anybody who's been chopped in the chest until it's bright red, and the next day they can barely do a push-up. Uh, or anybody who's been scoop slammed for that matter. Um, there's a lot of reality to it in that it's somewhat of a dangerous sport. There's been plenty of people who've been injured, plenty of people whose wrestling careers ended with injury, and even some wrestlers who have died in the ring. But when you have a passion for something, that doesn't really matter that much. You know the reality of it, but your passion is all you can pay attention to. And from the moment that I stepped in this little 14 by 14 ring in St. Louis with my friend Mike, I couldn't think of anything else for a while. Went back to St. Louis and told some of my friends. Even came up with a wrestling name, Mac Montana. Um, I like the alliteration. It'd be good to cheer, which is exactly what I've been wanting. Uh, and even at work, um, before I moved to St. Louis, I started telling some of my friends about Mac Montana, and they started calling me Mac instead of Glenn. Um, One of my coworkers, she also went by Mac. We started going by Big Mac and Little Mac. Because when you have a dream, the rest of the world kind of bends around it, doesn't it? Reality even kind of shifts to allow that dream to become a reality. If you're lucky, I guess. And now I have to accept the possibility my dream may never come true because of one teeny tiny little clot. I mean, yeah, I'm on the medication, and the doctors say that the clot might disintegrate. And if it does, then I should go back to the way that I was before. Um, and I keep hoping for that. But I've been on the blood thinner for over 2 months now, and I had the worst dizzy spell I've had since the stroke this last weekend. Now, today I was feeling the best that I have since the stroke. So, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what the future will bring? I plan on fighting to do everything that I can so that I can stay here in St. Louis and keep trying for my dream. That's why I worked out this evening. We can only do what we can do, though, right? There are thousands of people in this world who are limited, far more limited than I am. I keep reminding myself that I'm lucky. No permanent damage, at least none that they can see so far. Um, and so I keep telling myself that I'm lucky. I can still do a lot of things. I can still do most things that I could before before the stroke. BS. So I got to keep trying, right? Got to keep trying. I got to keep fighting. My brother told me once that as long as you don't quit, you're still winning. So I ain't quitting yet.